Okay, so the first instruction says to copy the letterhead and paste it into the document in the first paragraph. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is go to the window, and I'm going to go to the support file, which is the letterhead, and I'm going to click on the letterhead. You can see I've selected it because I have my resize handles. I'm going to choose copy any way I want, and then I'm going to go to the other document, and this guy here, right? And I'm in the right place, and now I'm going to choose paste. Okay, and that will paste the letterhead in there. And sometimes you'll see when you paste it, you'll see a little paste board show up here. They ask you to keep the same formatting. So you see when you paste it, it's here too, keep source formatting, you know? So depending on where you're pasting it to, so for instance, if I was to say grab this and make the formatting a little different, let's make it red, right? And then I cut it and I want to paste it somewhere else. When I paste it, I should, there it is. See, I got it now. And now I don't want it to be red. I want it to match where it's going. So I can say match destination formatting, and that will change it back to the original formatting. Actually it's going where it's going to be destined to. Okay, so that's called the paste options. I just wanted to point it out to you. You don't see it all the time, which is weird, but obviously it's useful to keep the formatting consistent. Everybody good with that? All right, so let's go to the next step, and I'm going to ask you guys to help me with these steps now. So we've already copied that, we pasted it, we understand the paste options button. So now the next thing is in the blank paragraph below the letterhead picture, that would be this, and make sure you have this on over here, right? So you can see what's going on. This is the show hide, and if you have that on, you can see what they mean by the blank paragraph there. Okay, so they're telling you now to insert the date. Okay, so you can do it from the computer's calendar. That's what they want you to do. So let me show you this one. You may not know this one, so I'm not going to call on anybody. So it's insert, and then here it is, date and time in the text group. Okay, date and time, and then they want this format. They tell you they want the format that looks like May 5th, comma. So you just click on that, and it's going to do our current date in that format. Okay, everybody happy with that? Let me know if you're unhappy. On page 2, format the picture of the biotech logo. So I'm going to page 2. There's a manual page break here, which means that someone manually set it. Word just didn't do it automatically. This is sometimes called a hard page break, as opposed to one that Word just does for you. Okay, so here's the picture in question, the logo, and it says to rotate it. Okay, so when I click on it, I get this little rotation handle here, and I could, try to rotate it by eye or rotate it by hand. I don't like doing it that way, so let's undo that. I always like consulting the menus. They're more precise. So in this case, to rotate it, it's going to be format picture. Here is the rotation tool, and then they want you to rotate it left 90 degrees. Okay, so this is just rock solid. I don't have to fool around with it. It goes right away to my 90 degrees. And you'll notice under format picture, we looked at some of the color effects and things like that, styles, alt text, position, text wrap, layering, right, forward and backwards, alignments, all kinds of sizes. You can crop part of the image out. Maybe I don't want to show the particular text here. I can just crop that out of the image, I hope. Let's try it again. I don't know what's going on with this. It doesn't like me today, but these are the crop handles. They should be able to crop it, but it seems to just be resizing it. Well, now it's cropping it. There we go. So if I do crop it like that, then I'll only see that part of the image. Okay? So, of course, I could undo that and bring it back to its normal size. Okay, so in this case, actually, what we want to do here is rotate it, and then I want to arrange it So I'm going to go to the arrange group, and they're asking for an exact position. Okay, so if I go here, I can use these presets here. This one is going to be the one they're asking for, position top right with square text wrapping. So you can see it locks it up right in that position, and the text wrapping is square. Let me see if I can show you something here with text wrapping. Again, if I put it in here, right, health and sustainability, I'll put it right here. And then let's do an insert picture, and I'll look for a picture of a sustainability leaf. So you can see when I bring the image in, first of all, it's unwieldily large. Okay, so now I can resize it. And the other thing you'll notice now is that it is in line once again. See, so it's actually breaking the line. It's almost like another letter or another word the way it's there. But if I put a text on it, let's try tight. So you can get a much nicer kind of look that you might see, you know, in a magazine, the way the picture might be presented in a magazine. I don't know why I'm getting all these weird effects, but something like that might be nice. See, so tight, see what tight is doing? It's actually wrapping all around it like that, as opposed to square, which will make it look like, you know, the text is just straight. Anyway, I should stick to the actual assignment. Okay, so we've added our picture. We've fine-tuned it a little bit. The next thing is to make sure I have everything here. All right, we did the text wrapping. Okay. The next thing is to use the Format Painter. Let's see if it works this time. Use the Format Painter to copy the formatting from the paragraph 7th Annual Conference, which is this, and I'll select the paragraph by clicking in the margin. I'm going to format it, right? Grab the format, and they want to then paste the formatting here. It's working now, right? So now I actually have the painter, and I can just go across it, and bingo, now they both look the same. Okay, so that's what we want. So if I wanted something to look like this, I could highlight it, click on the painter, and then there I go, highlighting this, and now all of a sudden they both look the same. Okay, I don't know why I wasn't working on the other document. It's just kind of weird. And I don't want to do it in front of you guys when it's weird. Okay, but that worked. That worked nicely. That's what we want, right? So we have consistency. So all of these headings look the same, whatever, right? Makes sense. All right, see what the next thing is now. Select the text, insert bullet in the paragraph May 10th. So that would be this right here. This I had a little trouble with, but I'll show you. Hopefully it'll work on this. So insert bullet, and the bullet is a symbol. You want to use the symbol font. And what I'm going to do is first delete this, go to insert, and here in the symbols group, I have the symbols, and it remembers the one I picked. This is the one they want, 183. But you just got to make sure that you're using the symbol font, and then any one you click on, you'll see what number it is. So this circle bullet is 183. So obviously there's all kinds of weird kind of fonts, and they all have different kind of symbol characters. Sometimes you might be hunting for something like, say, a copyright. If you go under special characters, see, you have trademark, copyright. You have various characters that you can put in there that you know, you may not really think, well, you know, what is the keyboard equivalent to this? So it's just easy to do. There are keyboard shortcuts for a lot of them, but so symbol font 183 is the one we want. Insert it, and hopefully it looks like a little circle. Okay, there it is. And we only need one of them. Make sure the formatting is the same with the spaces. So that one is done. Okay, the next thing is to change the font size of the paragraph conference highlights to 16 points to match the other headings. Well, obviously that one's pretty easy, right? Let me call on somebody. How about Jillian? How are you this morning, Jillian?
Morning, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. So this is an easy one, Jillian. So how would I change the font size here? And again, give me the directions like home tab,
Yes, well,
right?
on the home tab, there is a next to the font, there is a font size. Press the down key, and then you would choose the number that you'd like.
Perfect. So certainly a piece of cake, right?
Absolutely.
It's easy when, especially when you have someone who knows what they're doing like you do, Jillian. That was nicely done. So, and then the next paragraph is got all this weird stuff going on, right? So like this color, and then why is this recent advances? So the next thing they're saying is to erase the formatting from that. Um, so how would I do that, Jillian? That one we looked at already. I
Change
want to kind of,
change the
go
form.
ahead. I want to erase these, extra formatting. So remember clear formatting?
There is a icon called Clear All Formatting. It's got a purple eraser, and
There
then
it is.
on that. Yep.
Yeah, great. So first thing I want to do is make sure you always select first. So remember, you want to kind of, if you double click in the margin, you'll get your paragraph and then clear all formatting. And it's smart enough to know what the basic style is. So it's not going to take you to somewhere weird because the rest of the document is set up in Corbel 11, right? So it's all Corbel 11. We're good with that. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? Here's some questions in the background. Anybody have a question? So clear formatting. And obviously we didn't need that kind of weird extra stuff there, I guess. All right, thanks, Jillian. Nicely done. Format the picture of the conference attendees. So obviously this picture is a little dark. So we want to improve the clarity. And how would I go about, actually changing this picture? How about Atiana?
Hi,
Good morning.
good
So what
morning.
am I going to do? They're asking me to change the brightness to plus 40 and the contrast to plus 20. So what am I
You
going to do first?
you double click on the image,
Okay, I did
then
that.
uh, then the
I mean,
picture format shows up.
good. What's
Then
next?
I think corrections.
Good,
Then,
absolutely. So adjust group and then corrections. And you can see there are presets there, and I'll just help you out. This is the one they want. Okay, so as you hover over them, you'll get these little screen tips, and they're in kind of like a grid thing. So you can see that this one is always going to be minus 40 on the contrast, on the brightness, and the contrast is changing. So the one they want is this guy here. And obviously it makes it much more legible. Now we can see what's going on with that. And yeah, good, looks good. Nicely done. How about Zoe? Zoe, you ready for the next one?
Hello, hi.
Good morning. The next one says to add the following alt text to the description of the picture, people attending the 2020 conference. So first of all, what is alt text? You know, Zoe, what when we refer to alt text, what that means?
I'm assuming it's like some type of caption, like to describe what's going on in the following photo, like for people that
Yeah,
maybe are like blind or something.
yeah, absolutely. People who have some kind of impairment. If you're blind, you probably, let's say you may be using a reader, right? So a reader would actually be reading this for you. And actually, you can do it with this version. It has a read aloud kind of facility. So if you want to sit back and just like let it read to you, you can do that. And here it is, alt text right here. So with the picture highlighted, you click on this, and then you type in the alt text that they want, which is people attending the 2020 conference. I'm not going to do it, but you get the idea. So if you were using a screen reader, you're not going to see this actually, until you use some kind of screen reader. It's kind of hidden in the metadata in the background. So it's really not a caption. A caption would be something visible. But if I was using the reader where it actually is going to read aloud, then you'll hear it when it, comes across this. It'll just say picture people attending the 2020 conference. Okay. So supposedly in Blackboard, all your instructors are supposed to do this, for universal, kind of everybody can understand it, that it has the alt text built into any pictures you put in there. Great, nicely done. All right, we're moving along. We're about half done. So on page 3 now, we're going to add a smart art. Let's see how smart we are. So it says add a smart art in the blank paragraph after the conference programs heading. So really, they're a little off on this because there's actually 2 paragraphs. I think they mean here, right? So smart art. Now, let's see who's next. How about Yasmin? Yasmin. So how would I get my smart art? Do you remember? I want to insert a smart art. Good morning.
You would press insert
Good.
and then
And then
go to
which
picture.
group?
Illustrations and then press
Good.
smart art.
Good, absolutely. So remember, you try to use that kind of reference when you say, insert illustrations group, smart art icon, right? And then you have all your icons here for different kind of processes. And we want the matrix and then basic matrix is what they're asking for. Okay, so when you get that, you'll get the smart art there. And lovely, isn't it? So, again, earlier versions, you would have to draw all this, right? If you really wanted to do it, you'd have to start like aligning the diamond with the, rectangles and all this stuff. And here it just does it for you. Okay, and I'll go through the rest of it just so we can make it look exactly right. The next thing is to format each one of these shapes with text. So the first one says the first phase, I guess, of this matrix is testing. You can see how it is smart enough to resize it. Let me undo that. I didn't want that. So I'm going to go to the second one now, and they want 2 material. Okay, and thank you. And then 3 medical. And it should look exactly the same, I would think. 3 medical, and then 4 energy. And I didn't hit enter on the first one. I see why it's different. Because they're telling you to hit enter. Okay, so now they all look the same. I got that nice matrix going on. The next thing it says is format the smart art to change the color to gradient range accent 1. So obviously, again, whenever you have something selected, just look at your tabs, and you'll typically see that there's a new tab that's contextually related to what you're doing. So we got the smart art selected, and lo and behold, there's the smart art tab right there. Change color is right in front of us here. So you could change a lot of things about it. You could pick different processes. You could pick all kinds of different looks. We're going to go with the 3rd row, 3rd choice, I think it is, right? Accent, what is it? 3rd row, gradient accent. Oh, so it's this guy, I think. So hang on a second. Change the colors to gradient range accent 1. This one, I think, right? Colored fill. Oh, it's this one. Gradient range accent 1. That's it. Okay, so you get a nice kind of look there where it changes from one to the other, a little bit of a gradient going on. And then the next thing is to change the smart art style to the subtle effect. Okay, so I think these are the styles. Subtle, I think, is this one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so there you go. There's the subtle effect. Works for me. All right. So the next thing says set a tab stop at 6 inches with right alignment and a leader 2 option in the paragraph days 1 and 2. So here's an interesting thing, right? So here's the one that they want it to look like. Let me close this up over here. Okay. So you can see they have the tab at 6 inches, right? And the leader is there. So we want to do the same thing to this paragraph so that they match the same, because we've got, it's basically a heading for the table. So how about Madison? What am I going to do to set that tab so it matches? First step is typically to select it, right? So let's select it. And then remember how we set the tabs? So look at this ruler. It doesn't have any custom tabs, right? So it only has the default tabs. Remember how we set the custom tab? When I look at this ruler, see, I can see there's a custom tab at 6, and you can see there's 1 tab there. So how do we do that on this guy?
If you doing it on that, are you talking
Watch my,
a custom tab? Are you talking about sliding the bar to at the top where the roller is to where you want it?
yeah, I could do it that way, but I remember I prefer this one, format tabs. See, and now we can just fill in the, parameters that they're asking for. So what do they want? They want a 6-inch tab, right? And they want it to be a right tab. And then it's going to have a leader, which they want this one here, number 2. Okay? So you can see there's a tab there, right? So what it's going to do is it's going to take this tab, which is actually a default tab, and it's making May line up to the default 1-inch left tab stop. But once I set this custom tab, it'll send it to the custom tab, which is the right tab at 6 inches with the leader. And you can see now it matches the other one. Make sense?
Yes, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
much better method.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could have done it with this guy too, but again, you have to kind of wiggle it around in the ruler and make sure it's right on. So, and then the other thing you can't do with this is set the leader, because it's just not available until you go into the more power user kind of, tab format box like that. Good. Thanks, Madison. Next victim is Phoebe.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
So Phoebe, let's see what your task is here. Complete the table for days 1 and 2 and format it as follows to be consistent. So the first thing it says to insert a row at the end of the table. So we want to have another row here. Any idea what I should do?
Should you go to insert?
Well,
Or
almost.
can you click on it and
Yeah,
then
let's click on it. Let's do that.
it somehow?
Yeah, you're on the right track, right? So when you click on it, you notice you get the 2 extra menus here for table design and layout. And hopefully under one of them, there'll be rows and columns, insert rows or columns below left or right. And that's what we want, right? 1 row below. So with that row selected, layout, and then rows and columns, hit this, and now we have a new row. Okay, and in that new row, they tell you they want you to type some new information. It's energy research. I'll just do it, even though I'm a bad typist. And then the number 4 was short enough. Okay, so we're good. We got that down. The next step, if you thought you were having fun already, Phoebe, was now to apply the grid table for accent 1. So again, how am I going to do that?
Do you go to table design?
Perfect. Okay, so table design, here's all the styles. And if you pull it down, typically it'll, give you some hints. So grid, you can see these are plain, gridded. There are other ones there, like list ones. So if it's grid, it must be in this group. And then what do they want? Grid table design. I already wrote it down as the 4th row. So it's the 4th row and then the second choice, which is this guy. Okay, so when I click on it, it should look exactly like the other table, which it does. Okay, so everything looks, formatted correctly now, right? Makes sense?
Yeah.
Everything looks nice and clean. We got our tabs here, and that's what we want. It's like, a consistent look that looks nice and professional. So now we're down to the next thing. We're almost done. Page 3, not much more. Thanks, Phoebe. So the next thing is on page 4, add a border to the heading paragraph, Dallas City Attractions. Okay, so our favorite border thing, we just went over it, or at least I fumbled over it. So hopefully you guys remember how to do it. And let's see who our customer is. It's Anisha. How are you this morning, Anisha?
Good. How are you?
Good. So how am I going to add a border to this Dallas City Attractions? What are my steps going to be?
So you're gonna go to the home page.
Okay, remember, I always want to select first,
Oh,
or at
yeah.
least put my cursor in there. So, and then go to home. Okay, I like that.
And
Homework.
then in the paragraph section, there's gonna be
Good.
that window looking box, and you're gonna put
Perfect.
the arrow, and then yeah, your
Oh,
borders
yeah.
are over there, and
Yeah.
then you can
And
go
what
to
they-
oh, you
Yeah,
can
they
go
want a top border. It says
Yeah.
select home paragraph, top border, and then dashed, all kinds of stuff they want you to do to it. Turquoise, 1.5 inch. So let's see, we'll try what I did last time. I kind of fumbled through it, but you knew the path. That was very good. Okay, so here's the borders, and we want it to be a dashed border. So there's dashed. We want it to be turquoise. And I found that this didn't show, for some reason, it doesn't show, I don't know why, it doesn't show the tool tips. I had that problem before, but I know that it is the 5th one. Okay, so it's this guy. And then the size is going to be 1.5 points. So let's do that. There it is, 1.5. And we want it to just be the bottom border. Okay, so I'm taking these guys away. Oh, that's the way it works. I see. I thought I was clicking on these. So now we just want a bottom border. There we go. That works better. Okay, so you can see it actually shows you the blue turquoise dashed line, and this one is selected. Before I had this thing going on, and I was trying to figure out, it's working much better now, actually. That's the way it's supposed to work. Okay, and we're doing it to the paragraph, so I think we're good. Hit OK, and there we go. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Dallas City Attractions. Couldn't have did it without you. Nice work, Anisha. Audrey, the moment you've been waiting for. So how are you, Audrey? Are you here? Audrey? How about Kelly?
Hello.
Good morning. So what's wrong with this picture, Kelly?
It's backwards.
Yeah, so what am I going to do?
Um,
Probably, right?
I think you can just click on it.
I probably could, right? Maybe like rotate it all around. But again, like I told you, I hate dealing with that thing. Actually, I don't think this is going to work. You know, I can really make myself dizzy. Woo, you know. But the trick I think here is to go to our menus again.
Mm-hmm.
So under the picture format, the rotation, it actually has flip horizontal and flip vertical. So in this case, it is a horizontal flip, right?
Yeah.
And that fixes it. So that's much better. Looks a lot better, right? With that, Dallas, and then we know where we are. Change the text wrapping to tight. So again, you can see the text wrapping here. It's square. It's also kind of touching and looks like it's actually, you know, hiding some of the text, which is not good, right? It's obscuring some of the text. So again, the text wrapping is here. And then what do they want? Square or tight? Tight. Okay, so when you do tight, there you go. Much nicer now, right? Much more readable, nicely placed, looks kind of professional. And then recolor the picture to turquoise, accent color 1 light. Okay, it's a mouthful of stuff, but basically it should be under corrections, color, recolor. Let's see, adjust corrections. Actually, it's going to be under color. Color, and then recolor, and last row choice 2, which is this guy. Okay, I guess it matches this now, right? Matches the text, so that's what makes it look nice. Nice, nicely done. Okay, in the blank paragraph, in the Dallas City Attraction section, which is this, insert a table to provide the suggested attractions. Okay, so let's see who's next here. Evelyn? What am I going to do? Insert a table here.
Hello.
Good morning. So what's my steps? I'm in the right place. I've selected the blank paragraph. What is the procedure now?
To insert the table,
yeah.
You go to insert and then you go over the tables tab.
Good. And now I want to draw the table out. What are they asking for? To insert a table with 2 columns. So you go like that and then 4 rows.
Yeah.
Okay. Bingo. Okay. So there you go. And you can navigate the table. You can navigate it with the arrow keys. I'm using my arrow keys here. Left, right, up, and down. That's one way to navigate it. Or you can navigate it with the tab key, where shift tab should take you backwards and tab should take you forwards. Okay, so to fill in the blanks in the table, typically you would use those keys. I like tab. I'm not going to fill, maybe I'll fill in some of it just so you can see what's going on. So they ask for district, and then hit tab, and then to do. Okay, and then hit tab. You get the idea, right? Downtown. And then tab, and then history museum. Okay? So you get the idea, right? So you can fill in everything on the table like that. And then what is the next thing? As if we haven't done enough here, insert the table, add the text, format the submit abstract shape. Okay, so that would be this guy here. Format the shape. And obviously, once you get the idea of how you format a table or a picture, the same thing happens with the shape, right? So let me just finish up here with Jennifer. Jennifer, how are you this morning?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. So what am I going to do? They're asking me to format this shape with the moderate effect red accent 6. And I don't know what to start with. I don't know what to do here.
So do you go to shape format?
Okay, good. So I'm going to click on the shape first, and then you can see that that shape format appears.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got that. And then they want this moderate red. So it's probably under the styles, I would say. Yeah, makes sense. So let's look at that. And then here are the red ones. Just kind of look at one of them, see what it says. Colored fill. And you know, you go around, all of a sudden you'll see here's moderate red accent 6. That's the one they want. Click on it and bingo, there you go. It looks nice. Okay, it's missing this reflection though. So any idea? This is the shape effects. Okay.
Yeah.
And then just hunt around. Sometimes you're not sure where it is. Try a couple of icons, see what's going on. You'll see, oh, it's not outline, it must be effect. And then when you pull it down, you can see there's reflection. And actually, the one that matches is the first one here. Okay, so now we've got our reflection in there. All right, we're in business. Only one more step. And Chelsea, you are our lucky customer for this next step. How are you, Chelsea?
Hello, I'm good.
Good. So it says insert a rounded corners rectangle to the right of submit abstract. So what am I going to do? Probably,
Don't you click it?
I got to click somewhere near it, I guess. Or maybe I have to draw it there. So I need to just get the tool first. So how would I insert a shape?
Go to insert,
Good.
and then it's on shapes.
Yeah, so illustrations group,
Okay.
shapes, and then here's the rounded corner one.
Mm-hmm.
On the Mac, it's actually called a rounded rectangle. On the PC, it's called a rounded corner. So I'm going to grab that, and then I'm just going to draw one. Ooh, it's really weirdly shaped, I guess, right? But whatever, there it is. I'll probably have to resize it, right? So it says add the text brochure to the new the new shape. I don't know why it took on this really weird kind of format. Let me just try it one more time here. Insert shapes. Just want to put it on a little bit of a diet. There you go. Okay, so that's better. Good. Priyal, how would I add text to this shape?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. So they're asking me to add the word brochure to the new shape. So what would the procedure be? I want to see a pop-up menu. So how would I usually see a pop-up menu appear as opposed to a pull-down menu, right? These are pull-down menus kind of things. Like this is a pull-down menu. A pop-up menu typically is a control click or a right click on a PC. So if I hold down my control key and click, I get the pop-up menu here. And then somewhere in that list is add text. Okay, and I'm going to type the word brochure. Good. Pretty good. And hit enter, I guess. And it's there. Then it says to resize the shape to a size of 0.6 and a width of 1.1. Any idea how to do that? We're in the right place already. So shape format, right? And then you actually have a size group. Okay, so put the dimensions in there. It's 6 and 1.1. Okay, so 1.1, and that should make it exactly the same size as the other two, hopefully. So then it says position the shape using 2.9 horizontal and a 0.3 vertical. So the idea is you want to distribute them, right? That looks kind of weird the way they don't really look like they're evenly spaced. So if you go to the position where it's hidden under here in this one, I don't know why it's hidden actually. I've seen it on other machines, but it, I have to know that it's there. I guess there's not enough room or something. So here's position, and then instead of using these guys, I'm going to go to more layout options, and here I can really, with the absolute position, I can nail it, right to either columns, paragraphs, all kinds of different, components of the document. So what I want to do here is a absolute position of 0.6 in relationship to the column. And just want to make sure I'm doing this right here. No, I'm sorry, that was the size. It was 2.9 in relation to the column. So 2.9. And then vertically, we want it to be 0.03. But this time it's in relationship to the paragraph, and it's already there by default. Okay, I think that should do it. Yeah, it looks like it, is nicely distributed now, right? Where it matches. What's missing?
The reflection.
Good, absolutely. So how am I going to get that reflection? How about Eliana? Eliana, you're the last customer. It's amazing. It actually went to the last thing here. So what would be a way that I can make them match? They actually wanted to make it, look like this guy. I don't even think they want the turquoise. So what would be a way that I could make it look like this one? Eliana, are you here?
Yeah. Maybe you highlight the first one and then do the fill-in thing. Yeah.
Try this guy, the painter. Let's see if we have any luck with it this time. Yeah, like magic, right? So it actually did the colors, it did the reflection, it pretty much did everything to make it look exactly like this guy looks. Good. And then the last step is to check the spelling and grammar in the document. And they say that there's probably some kind of error here. So remember, spelling and grammar, you want to go under your review tab. And then here it is, spelling and grammar. And obviously, I wouldn't want to change this proper name. I just want to make sure it's spelled correctly. It's not in the dictionary, so but it is a brand name, so I certainly don't want to change it. So in this case, I'll say ignore all. And then what else do we see here? Comma before health. Yeah, I guess I'll accept that, right? So if you pull this down over here, you can just click on this as a suggestion, and it'll take it. Okay, so it finished it, and it actually is now giving me a kind of wrap up where it gives me, the kind of properties that went on here. So we can see how many words, characters, paragraphs, sentences, all kinds of things like that. The readability scale. Okay, so we're done. And that is the actual finished document. Let's just take a look at it here. So it has a nice letterhead that kind of sets it off. And then a bulleted list. We didn't do much with that. Here's the logo, which is nicely placed. Formatting here, to let you know different headings, and the date is nicely formatted. Here's our symbol. We adjusted the picture contrast so we could see it better. What else? Here's our smart art. Gives us a nice kind of infographic style kind of, look to it. So again, maybe even on your resume, instead of a bulleted list, you could have some kind of interesting, iconic smart art. And then we have the tab here, which basically gives us the leader, 2 tables that are formatted identically to let us know. The header row tells us, the topic and the track of each one. So I would know right away, which one I'm going to visit on each day. And then we have our, after the conference, what I'm going to do, maybe go downtown to visit the History Museum. And then the bottom line. Like here, what you might want to do with this is, for more information, visit our website. What would be something that I would probably do with these guys? Registration, submit abstracts, and brochure. It's pretty obvious, but they left it out. What would be a typical next step? I probably want to format these guys with some type of hyperlink, right? So I could go to links, and then I could send people to the registration page. I could link them to a brochure, right? To an email address to submit abstracts, whatever it is.